am Evan Miller. I'm doing my speech on small business marketing. And before we get started, how many of you guys have either worked for a small business, own your own, maybe have parents who own one, and how many of you guys? Okay, decent amount of half the class here. So before we get started, I want to define guerrilla marketing here, which is an unconventional way of performing marketing activities on a small budget, according to entrepreneur.com. And guerrilla marketing is a big part of small business advertising because instead of investing a lot of money, you instead invest your creativity, your time, and energy to really improve your advertising plan, your marketing plan. So if you still don't really understand, here's some examples that I really like of guerrilla marketing. It's the Mr. Clean guy right here on a city crosswalk. This one is on the back of a taxi cab for a local restaurant that's popular for their hot wings. This one right here is for an insurance company. They put these up on cars that people leave on the street. And all these ideas are relatively inexpensive, and they're very creative, and they really get right down on the level of the consumer in order to contact them. So there are 4 problems that I usually see with small businesses doing advertising. Number 1 is they're kind of afraid of advertising. They don't know anything about it, so they're really afraid to engage in anything. Number 2, they don't believe they have enough funding. Number 3, they see advertising as ineffective because they may have tried something that didn't work out very well, so they just gave it up completely. And number 4, they lack commitment and consistency in their marketing plan. So the fear of advertising due to lack of knowledge in the field is pretty common among small business owners. They have this idea that they need to create some sort of amazing primetime TV commercial in order to have good advertising, but in reality, advertising is anything that you can create to get your name out to the consumer. All that these business owners really need to do is put some thought and energy into their marketing plan, not really money. For example, in the book, Guerrilla Marketing by Jay Levinson, he gives an example of a personal accountant who wanted to grow his number of clients. So, and he didn't really have any idea of how to advertise. So every few months he would write a tax newsletter and send it out to this long list of potential clients. And after a few months of this, he began gaining huge amounts of new clients for his business. And this idea isn't like new or revolutionary or anything, but it really worked for him. And it just goes to show that even without any background in advertising or any knowledge of it, you can still really succeed in growing your business. So number 2, people think that there's not enough, they don't have enough funding to grow their business to advertise. And social media sites are a great way to advertise your business. It's free. I'm not going to go into it too much because there's already been like 8 presentations on Facebook and Twitter. I think you guys are kind of tired of hearing about it, so I'll just pass that up a bit. Some other really inexpensive ways to advertise are blogs, mass emails, newsletters, like I mentioned before. So any small business who really puts their mind to it, spends some time writing these things, keeping their current consumers updated, because that's half of advertising is talking to returning customers. The number 3 problem is that they will see, the business owners will see advertising as ineffective because they when they first create an advertisement and put it out there, they think they're assuming that somehow their business is going to double overnight, when in reality it takes a really long time in order for a business to actually grow. So most times, even consistent good advertising will take months and months in order to pay off. And another problem with them seeing it ineffective is they just see advertising as another expense that their business has to pay, when in reality it's an investment, because you're bringing back so much more. So even if they're not spending any money on their advertising, they're just using free things and just doing small amounts over time, it'll begin to attract more and more customers as long as they're really committed to their plan. But that's another problem with it, is a lack of commitment. Because in the book I was telling you about earlier, about guerrilla marketing, he defines good advertising as a marriage. You have to put a lot of time and effort into it in order for it to be successful. And in order for a business to be recognized and really attract the consumer, to make them want to go out and buy that product, the business has to be seen multiple times by that consumer over and over again before they decide that they finally, that it's a business worthy of going to and spending their money on. So all in all, it's really not near as challenging as many small business owners think it is. So all they really need to do is invest more time and money into their marketing plan. Because as I mentioned at the beginning of the speech, it's not all about the money. It's about just your time, your energy, your creativity. If they can sit down and think of something good in order to bring in more consumers, they'll do very well. So it mostly has to do with commitment and not really money. So thank you guys.